Hey guys, I'm Jesse from the YouTube channel Jesse the Reader, and today I'm bringing you another episode of My Fictional Bucket List, where I share with you some of the things that I would love to do if I were ever given the chance to visit some of my favorite fictional places. Today I'm sharing with you the list of things I'd love to do in the world of the Doldrums. The Doldrums is one of my all-time favorite reads. I've yet to read the sequel, The Doldrums and the Helmsley Curse, which honestly, what am I doing with my life? I really need to read this book ASAP. It's gotta happen soon because I loved this book and I know I'm going to love this one. Anyways, if you know nothing about the Doldrums, let me fill you in. In the first book, we're introduced to our main character, Archer B. Helmsley. Archer grew up in a home full of artifacts from his grandparents' explorations. His grandparents are famous explorers, but unfortunately they ended up missing somewhere on an iceberg. And ever since their disappearance, Archer's parents hardly ever let him leave the house. All Archer wants is an adventure. He just wants to get out there and explore, but his parents are a little overprotective and don't want him leaving the house. But that does not stop Archer. He ends up becoming friends with Adelaide and Oliver, and together they embark on a big adventure. It's a beautifully written story with incredible illustrations, and I highly recommend checking out this series. Now, because I've only read the first book, my list is only going to correlate with things that happen in the first book. So let's get started with my Doldrums bucket list. First up, I really want to visit Archer's home, the Helmsley house. Like I said, his grandparents are explorers, and they've filled the Helmsley house full of artifacts. They have things like stuffed badgers, giraffes, and ostriches, a collection of butterflies. I mean, the Helmsley house could honestly pass as a museum. They should honestly just open it to the public at this point. The Helmsley House Museum. Next up, I would like to attend Willow Academy just for a day. I know it might sound strange to have going to school on my bucket list, but the reason that I really want to go is because the Willow Academy is actually held in an old button factory. In the book, it talks about how Archer has started a button collection because he's picked up little buttons that were left behind from the old button factory. So first off, I really want to see what the school looks like in this old button factory, but two, I really want to find some buttons and start my own button collection. Something that was mentioned really briefly in the first book that I would really like to attend is the Willow Street Flower Festival. And it sounds like each season has its own festival. They had the Spring Blossoms Festival, they had a Summer Festival, an Autumn Festival, and I believe there's probably a Christmas Festival as well. It sounds like it's just a nice event that's held on the street where you can meet your neighbors. They have different activities, food, which I'm all for. If they've got food, I'll be there. While in the Doldrums world, I will definitely have to visit Dutton Licks for some sweets. I feel like I've definitely talked about throughout this series how I have a major sweet tooth. Put some sweets in front of me and I'll make them disappear just like a magic trick. It says that stepping into Dutton Licks comes with an aroma of chocolate. The smell of chocolate will greet your nose. They have things like candied cherries, lollipops, caramel cream chocolate bars. I think I'm gonna have to head to a sweet shop after I finish filming this video, because I'm now craving some sugary goodness. Next up, I'd like to visit the Rosewood Museum and the Rosewood Zoo. Now, if you've read the first book, then you know a crazy event takes place involving both of these places. But I think I'd rather visit these places in a very chill manner. I'd rather visit the Rosewood Museum on a peaceful day where I can take in the information and really kind of dig deep on all the information I'm taking in. And I'd also like to go and see the animals on a very calm day. No craziness, please. Ultimately, though, the last thing on my list would be to have an adventure with Archer, Adelaide, and Oliver. I love the bond that is created between these three characters, and hopefully they have room for one more friend. That friend being me. And maybe together we can go on some kind of crazy adventure. Or honestly, maybe I should just stick to reading about their adventures. That's probably a better plan. That's my fictional bucket list for the world of the Doldrums. If you've read the Doldrums, let me know down below in the comments some things that you would like to do in this world. Also, let me know where you think my fictional bucket list should go next. As always, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time with another episode of My Fictional Bucket List.